Good morning, Chris here, Southern Bulb Company, getting ready for the Southern Bulb Christmas party where we take things that aren't our flower bulbs and we pay for cut flowers and we make fun flower arrangements. Still surrounded by some of my favorites like paper whites though that are blooming in my garden and in my yard. What do you do with all your bulbs when they're done blooming? Like imagine all the paper white foliage is gone and then you've got all this the rest of the winter. Well, it's about to happen to your garden if you've got flower bulbs in there. Like the daffodils that bloom in February and March, you're really supposed to leave them and their foliage all the way till April and May. So this time of year, I do some tricks. Well, one with paper whites and these front little beds by my entrance, I treat those as annuals and I actually remove them and I put Dutch tulips there. But what about my perennial gardens that I have in the back of my house or on the sides of my garden that might not need to be like a show stop all the time? Well, for those, I do some tricks. One, in the winter time, I try to put those behind maybe small dwarf yopon hedges or boxwood hedges so that foliage maybe lays below that. So when you're looking at the garden, you still see structure and formality with those hedges. A lot of that foliage though doesn't really start coming up till February, March. Really the only thing that you have to worry about is like if you've got Chinese sacred lilies or paper whites or things that bloom in November and December, that foliage you're really supposed to leave all winter long and into the spring. It's not that big of a deal in the dead of winter to look out there and see this foliage, but as it starts to get gangly in late spring, what you really want to do is mix it in with some things like salvias or lantanas that will start to grow up in late spring. And as they leaf out, emerge, begin to bloom, you notice this foliage less and less. And it removes that desire or temptation to cut it, which is not healthy, or to braid it, or to take bricks and to put it down your garden so you're not looking at it. Those things aren't helpful for your bulbs. You really need them to get all the sunshine they can because these little chloroplasts are what take the sun energy, convert it to food energy, and send it back down to your bulbs to give them a nice, healthy bulb that will survive all summer long as it lies, quote unquote, dormant. Just remember, bulbs are nothing more than modified leaves. They're food storage organisms. So if you want a healthy bloom next year, try not to cut your foliage back and just plant other perennials there with it. And then think of other ways to make your winter pretty by just buying cut flowers and making arrangements and putting them in your house.